In the grim darkness of the far future, there is no peace, only war. Yet beyond the ceaseless carnage and mortal struggles of the material realm lies the immaterium, a roiling, chaotic dimension that mirrors the emotions, fears, and aspirations of all sentient beings. Here, in this tempest of psychic energy, the ruinous powers reign supreme. Among them is Tzeentch, the chaos god of change, knowledge, ambition, and deception, a being whose influence weaves through both the warp and real space like an unseen hand in an intricate, infinite game of chess. Tzeentch is unlike the other chaos gods, whose domains are relatively straightforward. Khorne thrives on bloodshed and martial prowess. Nurgle revels in decay and despair. Slaanesh indulges in hedonistic excess. Tzeentch, however, operates on a higher plane of complexity. He is the embodiment of paradox, the schemer who never reveals his true plans, the architect of fate who delights in uncertainty, the harbinger of both enlightenment and insanity. His nature is fluid, ever-shifting, and incomprehensible, making him the most enigmatic and arguably the most powerful of the chaos gods. This power stems not only from his domain, but also from his modus operandi. Tzeentch does not simply react to events or capitalize on existing emotions. He shapes them. His influence is felt in every lie, every act of betrayal, every ambition that turns friend against friend. His strength is woven into the fabric of existence, manifesting in the drive for knowledge, the hunger for power, and the eternal struggle for progress. Where others see chaos, Tzeentch sees opportunity, and where others see despair, he sees a chance to twist the threads of destiny. But why is Tzeentch considered the strongest of the chaos gods? The question itself is layered with intrigue, for strength in the warp is not a simple measure of brute force. It is a matter of influence, adaptability, and the ability to manipulate the countless variables of reality. Tzeentch excels in these areas, often operating behind the scenes, his victories apparent only in hindsight. To understand his supremacy, we must delve into his nature, his methods, and the vast network of schemes that define his existence. In this exploration, we will uncover the many facets of Tzeentch's power, from the subtle influence he exerts over mortal and immortal minds to the ways in which he reshapes the very fabric of reality. We will examine his domain in the warp, his relationships with the other chaos gods, and the countless mortal servants who enact his will, knowingly or otherwise. Through this journey, we will come to see that Tzeentch's strength lies not in direct confrontation, but in his ability to twist and reshape every aspect of existence to suit his ever-evolving goals. As we embark on this examination, it is crucial to remember that understanding Tzeentch is itself an exercise in futility. The closer one comes to grasping his plans, the more they shift and change, slipping through the fingers like grains of sand. Yet, it is in this very elusiveness that Tzeentch's power is most evident. For in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, where even the most carefully laid plans are undone by chaos, Tzeentch stands as the ultimate puppet master, a god whose strength lies not in what he destroys, but in what he creates, an endless web of possibility, potential, and power. The origins of Tzeentch are as elusive and layered as the chaos god himself. In the immaterium, time and causality do not exist as they do in the material realm. This means that Tzeentch, like the other ruinous powers, has always existed and yet is perpetually coming into being, shaped by the emotions, desires, and struggles of mortal beings. His essence is deeply tied to the concept of change, an eternal cycle of growth, decay, and rebirth that defines the universe. To understand his emergence, one must look not at a single moment, but at the broader currents of ambition, evolution, and turmoil that ripple through the minds of sentient beings. Tzeentch's rise can be traced to the earliest stirrings of intelligent thought. When the first mortal beings gazed at the stars and dreamed of reaching them, when they sought to better themselves or to bend the world to their will, they unknowingly fed the nascent entity that would become Tzeentch. Unlike the raw violence that fuels Khorne, or the despair that nourishes Nurgle, Tzeentch draws strength from aspiration and the thirst for knowledge. Every act of curiosity, every spark of innovation, every desire to defy the odds, these are the emotions that gave Tzeentch form and purpose. As civilizations across the galaxy developed, their ambitions grew ever more complex. Mortals sought power over others, mastery over their environments, and deeper understanding of the universe. With each success and failure, with every scheme and betrayal, the energy of the warp shifted, and Tzeentch took shape as a reflection of these endless desires. His being is not confined to simple chaos or destruction, but thrives on the intricate interplay of progress and collapse, of hope and despair. His essence is as much a product of mortal ingenuity as it is of their flaws. In the early days of the warp's coalescence, Tzeentch's domain expanded rapidly, fueled by the struggles and ambitions of countless species. Where warlords schemed for dominance, where scholars sought forbidden knowledge, where inventors dreamed of reshaping the universe, Tzeentch's shadow loomed. Unlike his fellow Chaos gods, who often represent single, overwhelming emotions, Tzeentch embodies a spectrum of conflicting drives. He is both the light of discovery and the darkness of manipulation, the promise of advancement and the curse of overreach. Tzeentch's growth was not a steady ascent, but a series of unpredictable surges, each tied to key moments in the history of sentient life. The rise and fall of great civilizations, the creation of groundbreaking technologies, and the shattering betrayals that toppled empires all contributed to his ascendance. As mortals strove to control their destinies, they unknowingly fed the entity that thrives on the illusion of control. For Tzeentch, the act of striving is more important than the outcome. His strength lies in the endless cycle of ambition, where every triumph contains the seeds of its own undoing. Tzeentch's nature also makes him unique among the Chaos gods in another way. He is not merely a reflection of mortal desires, but an active participant in shaping them. He whispers into the minds of the ambitious, offering tantalizing glimpses of power and knowledge. He manipulates events on a cosmic scale, ensuring that no plan unfolds without his touch. This interplay between mortal agency and divine manipulation is a hallmark of his power, and it is why his influence is so pervasive. Every decision made in pursuit of a better future, whether for oneself, for others, or for the galaxy, adds another thread to his intricate web. Over time, Tzeentch's identity solidified into the form we recognize today. The great schemer, the changer of ways, the master of manipulation and deceit. Yet even this identity is fluid, ever shifting in response to the desires and fears of those who empower him. To speak of his beginning is to misunderstand his nature, for Tzeentch is both the cause and the effect, the creator and the creation. He is the embodiment of potential, an infinite horizon that recedes with every step taken toward it. Through this lens, Tzeentch's rise is not just a story of cosmic forces, but a reflection of the fundamental nature of existence. In every corner of the galaxy, where sentient beings strive for more power, more knowledge, more meaning, Tzeentch is there, feeding and growing, shaping and reshaping. His essence is woven into the very fabric of the universe, a constant reminder that nothing is static and everything is in flux. To understand how Tzeentch began is to understand that he never truly did. He simply is, and always will be, the living embodiment of change. The emergence of Tzeentch was not a singular event, but the culmination of countless interconnected factors, rooted in the very nature of existence and the emotional fabric of the warp. The immaterium, a psychic mirror of the material universe, was shaped by the collective thoughts, emotions, and desires of sentient beings. These feelings, from the simplest urges to the most complex ambitions, stirred the raw energies of the warp into motion. Among these currents of thought, those tied to change, progress, and manipulation formed the foundation upon which Tzeentch would rise. Before the Immaterium became a realm dominated by chaos, it was a chaotic but largely neutral sea of psychic energy. Sentient life in its earliest stages brought order to this energy, albeit unintentionally. The first sparks of intelligence, the desire to grow, to learn, to control, manifested as ripples within the warp. These ripples began to take on their own form, becoming echoes of mortal desires. As civilizations developed, these echoes grew more distinct, fueled by the expanding complexity of thought and ambition. It was not raw power or violence that nurtured Tzeentch, but the desire for transformation and understanding. The endless hunger for progress, the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, and the dreams of reshaping reality, all of these contributed to his growth. While other Chaos gods gained strength from primal and unyielding emotions, Tzeentch thrived in the spaces between, where contradictions existed and where order and chaos intertwined. This fluidity set him apart from his peers, even in his earliest stages. The rise of organized civilizations played a pivotal role in the conditions that allowed Tzeentch to ascend. As societies grew, so did their hierarchies, their systems of power, and their schemes. Leaders sought to outmaneuver one another, advisors whispered secrets and lies, and scholars delved into mysteries that promised both salvation and doom. These patterns repeated across countless worlds and species, each act of ambition adding to the psychic resonance that empowered Tzeentch. He became an amalgamation of these efforts, his essence shaped by the conflicts and complexities of mortal existence. Another key factor in Tzeentch's emergence was the inherent duality of mortal ambition. The desire for change is both creative and destructive, offering the promise of improvement while sowing the seeds of instability. This duality created a fertile ground for Tzeentch's growth, as his essence fed on both the hope of what could be and the despair of what was lost. Where other Chaos gods thrived on singular extremes, Tzeentch drew power from the interplay of opposites, making his domain uniquely multifaceted. The immensity of the galaxy itself also contributed to Tzeentch's rise. In a universe teeming with life, the sheer variety of desires and ambitions created an almost limitless source of energy. From the primitive tribes striving to master fire to advanced civilizations reaching for the stars, the thirst for change united all sentient beings. This collective drive became a cornerstone of Tzeentch's strength, allowing him to expand his influence across the Immaterium and into the material realm. The role of betrayal and manipulation in mortal history further reinforced Tzeentch's power. Across the cosmos, acts of deceit shaped the rise and fall of empires. Leaders betrayed allies, seekers of knowledge fell victim to their own hubris, and entire societies crumbled under the weight of their ambitions. Each of these events added to Tzeentch's strength, as his essence became intertwined with the very concept of scheming and subterfuge. Unlike other Chaos gods, who revel in destruction or stagnation, Tzeentch thrives on the intricate dance of cause and effect, where every move and countermove alters the balance of power. The culmination of these factors ensured that Tzeentch's emergence was inevitable. He did not burst forth fully formed, but instead grew over millennia, shaped by the collective ambitions and contradictions of the galaxy's inhabitants. His nature reflects the endless cycle of striving and falling, of dreaming and despairing. The seeds of his power were sown in every corner of the cosmos, wherever sentient beings sought to change their fate, defy the odds, or uncover the secrets of the universe. Thus, the conditions for Tzeentch's rise were not simply external, but intrinsic to the nature of existence itself. Change is the one constant in the universe, and Tzeentch is its ultimate expression. His ascendance was not the result of a single act or event, but the inevitable outcome of the galaxy's collective yearning for transformation, progress, and control. In his rise, the paradox of chaos is laid bare. From the hopes and dreams of mortals comes a force that embodies their deepest fears and their greatest aspirations, a being whose strength lies in the ever-shifting tides of destiny. Charting the chronology of Tzeentch's influence is no simple task, as his machinations weave through the fabric of both real space and the warp in ways that defy conventional understanding of time. His presence is not confined to specific events, but instead manifests as a series of interconnected schemes, subtle manipulations, and grand designs that ripple across history. Still, certain key moments stand out as defining examples of his influence, showcasing the far-reaching scope of his power. In the ancient history of the galaxy, before the rise of the Imperium of Man, Tzeentch's influence could already be felt in the ambitions of countless alien civilizations. The Aldari, with their boundless arrogance and pursuit of perfection, were among the first to fall victim to his intricate schemes. Their relentless drive for power and knowledge, coupled with internal rivalries and betrayals, created fertile ground for Tzeentch to sow discord. Through subtle whispers and illusions, he fanned the flames of their ambition, pushing them ever closer to the hubris that would eventually lead to their near extinction. During the rise of humanity, Tzeentch's presence was felt in the unrelenting cycles of war and technological progress that defined the age of strife. As humanity fractured into warring factions, each striving to dominate or survive, Tzeentch thrived on the chaos. Every invention, every betrayal, every dream of uniting the scattered remnants of humanity fed his power. His touch was not overt, but woven into the tapestry of human ambition, driving the ceaseless pursuit of dominance and progress that left countless worlds in ruins. In the warp, Tzeentch's power solidified during the cataclysmic wars that shaped the realms of chaos. While Khorne waged open battles and Nurgle established his pestilent domains, Tzeentch worked in the shadows, forging alliances and manipulating events to ensure his rise. His schemes were labyrinthine, pitting demon against demon, and even turning the other chaos gods against one another. These endless machinations cemented his position as a master manipulator, capable of bending even the most chaotic forces to his will. One of the most significant periods of Tzeentch's activity was during the Horus heresy. While the galaxy burned in the fires of rebellion, Tzeentch played a central role in orchestrating events behind the scenes. His influence extended beyond simple corruption. He wove intricate webs of deceit and ambition that ensnared key figures on both sides of the conflict. Leaders made critical decisions based on half-truths and illusions, while entire legions were torn apart by internal strife. Even when his direct involvement was not apparent, the echoes of his schemes could be seen in the choices and betrayals that defined the era. Tzeentch's power also manifested in the formation of countless mortal cults dedicated to his worship. These cults, often hidden within the fabric of society, worked tirelessly to spread his influence and further his goals. From clandestine gatherings of scholars delving into forbidden knowledge to revolutionary movements seeking to overthrow established regimes, these cults served as his agents in real space. Each act of rebellion, each secret uncovered, and each lie told added to the chaos, ensuring that Tzeentch's influence continued to grow. In more recent history, Tzeentch's presence has been felt in the endless wars that define the 41st millennium. The Imperium, despite its rigid structure and dogmatic adherence to tradition, is not immune to his touch. Ambitious leaders, corrupt officials, and desperate populations all fall prey to his manipulations, often without even realizing it. His schemes play out on every level, from the grand strategy of interstellar conflicts to the personal ambitions of individual soldiers and politicians. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Tzeentch's chronology is the way in which his plans often span millennia, unfolding across multiple events and involving countless individuals. Unlike his fellow Chaos gods, whose actions are often direct and immediate, Tzeentch operates on a scale that defies comprehension. His victories are rarely celebrated, his defeats never final. Each scheme, no matter how small, contributes to a larger design that only he can see. In the immaterium, Tzeentch's presence remains ever-shifting, a constant reminder that nothing is truly stable or predictable. His demonic minions, from the cunning lords of change to the mischievous pink horrors, embody his nature, spreading confusion and discord wherever they go. These manifestations of his will are not merely tools, but extensions of his essence, ensuring that his influence continues to ripple across time and space. The timeline of Tzeentch's involvement in the galaxy is less a series of discrete events and more an ongoing process of transformation and manipulation. His influence can be seen in the rise and fall of empires, the ambitions of individuals, and the endless conflicts that define existence in the grim darkness of the far future. To chart his chronology is to attempt to map the unmappable, to understand a being whose very nature is to defy understanding. Yet through these moments of chaos and change, one truth becomes clear. Tzeentch's hand is in everything, his schemes ever unfolding, shaping the destiny of the galaxy in ways both seen and unseen. One of the most pivotal moments in Tzeentch's intricate web of schemes unfolded during the events surrounding the fall of Prospero, an episode drenched in betrayal, manipulation, and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. This moment was not simply a single event, but the culmination of centuries of ambition, mistrust, and the slow, insidious work of Tzeentch as he played multiple parties against each other to achieve his goals. The story begins with a world of unparalleled intellect and psychic prowess. Prospero, a beacon of enlightenment and learning in an otherwise savage galaxy, was home to a population gifted with psychic abilities. This planet stood apart in its pursuit of understanding the immaterial and its tireless quest to harness the warp's power for the betterment of humanity. But with such ambition came inherent danger. Tzeentch, ever watchful for opportunities to exploit the drive for knowledge, had long set his gaze upon this world. Over decades, Tzeentch subtly infiltrated the thoughts and dreams of Prospero's most gifted minds. To some, he appeared as a benevolent spirit of inspiration, granting insights into the mysteries of the warp. To others, he whispered doubts, fueling rivalries and ambitions. The scholars and Psychers of Prospero, unaware of the source of their growing mastery and paranoia, became pawns in his grander game. Through their actions, they delved deeper into the warp, peeling back layers of reality that mortals were never meant to understand. This burgeoning power, however, did not go unnoticed. Elsewhere in the galaxy, the growing influence of psychic phenomena was seen as a threat, particularly by those who sought order and control. Warnings were given, though they fell on deaf ears. Tzeentch, ever the manipulator, ensured that messages were delayed, misunderstood, or dismissed. The seeds of discord were planted, ensuring that misunderstanding and mistrust would fester between Prospero and those who sought to contain it. As tensions mounted, Tzeentch escalated his interference. His demons whispered conflicting truths to both sides, stoking fears and inflating egos. On one side, the Psychers of Prospero were emboldened, convinced of their righteousness and their unique destiny to master the immaterial. On the other, those charged with maintaining the galaxy's stability became increasingly determined to extinguish what they saw as a growing threat. Both sides believed they were acting in the best interest of humanity, but neither realized they were playing into Tzeentch's hands. The pivotal moment came when a fateful decision was made. Prospero would face judgment. Tzeentch's influence was unmistakable in the cascading series of events that led to this point. Communication between the two sides, already strained, was further obfuscated by his machinations. Each misstep, each misinterpretation, was another thread in the web of deception. What might have been a peaceful resolution was warped into an inevitable confrontation. When the assault on Prospero finally began, it was a cataclysm of fire, psychic energy, and betrayal. The defenders, pushed to their limits, unleashed their full potential, warping reality itself in their desperation. The attackers, driven by a zealous determination to fulfill their mission, showed no mercy. All the while, Tzeentch watched, his influence manifesting in every twist of fate, every moment of doubt, every desperate act. The destruction of Prospero marked a turning point, not just for the participants, but for the galaxy as a whole. The Psychers of the planet, their dreams of enlightenment turned to ashes, became unwitting vessels for Tzeentch's power. Those who survived the onslaught carried with them not just the scars of war, but the seeds of further chaos. Their psychic abilities, honed to a razor's edge during the conflict, became a conduit for Tzeentch's influence, spreading his reach far beyond the ruins of their homeworld. On the other side, the victors were left with a bitter legacy. Their triumph was hollow, marred by the realization that their actions had played into a larger, incomprehensible scheme. Doubts festered, loyalties frayed, and the seeds of rebellion were sown. In this, Tzeentch achieved his true goal, not the destruction of Prospero itself, but the chaos that followed in its wake. The survivors, the victors, the galaxy at large, all became entangled in the aftermath, their actions furthering Tzeentch's designs. The fall of Prospero is remembered as a tragedy, a moment of hubris and misunderstanding that forever altered the course of history. But for Tzeentch, it was a masterpiece, a testament to his unparalleled ability to manipulate events on a scale that transcends mortal comprehension. Through this single act, he demonstrated the true nature of his power, the ability to turn even the noblest intentions into instruments of chaos, to weave an intricate web of ambition and betrayal that ensnares all who come near. This event stands as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in seeking mastery over forces beyond understanding. It also reveals the essence of Tzeentch's strength, not in brute force or direct confrontation, but in his capacity to shape the thoughts, actions, and fates of those who believe they act of their own free will. In the destruction of Prospero, the galaxy glimpsed the true face of the architect of fate, a being whose plans extend far beyond mortal comprehension, ensuring that nothing is ever as it seems. The influence of Tzeentch on the galaxy is pervasive, shaping events and destinies in ways both grand and subtle. Unlike other forces that impose their will through brute strength or relentless decay, Tzeentch operates through the intricate manipulation of possibility itself. His presence is felt across every level of existence, from the minds of individuals to the fate of empires, leaving an indelible mark on the galaxy's history and future. At its core, Tzeentch's impact lies in his ability to manipulate ambition and the pursuit of knowledge. Across the galaxy, countless individuals, from the most powerful rulers to the humblest scholars, have been drawn into his web by their desire to understand and control the forces around them. These aspirations, while often noble in intent, are twisted by Tzeentch's influence, turning progress into chaos and unity into discord. Through these actions, he ensures that no structure, no idea, and no individual remains static. Everything is in flux, constantly evolving and breaking apart in an endless cycle of change. On a broader scale, Tzeentch has shaped the trajectory of entire civilizations. His influence can be seen in the rise and fall of empires, where ambition and betrayal have been the catalysts for both greatness and ruin. The seeds of rebellion, the spark of innovation, the allure of forbidden knowledge, all are tools in his arsenal, used to push societies toward moments of critical transformation. In many cases, these transformations lead to disaster, as those who reach too far or delve too deep inevitably fall victim to the consequences of their actions. Yet, even in their failure, they serve Tzeentch's purpose, feeding the chaos that sustains him. Tzeentch's impact extends beyond the material realm into the immaterium itself. In the warp, he is both a shaper and a reflection of its boundless chaos. His realm is a kaleidoscope of ever-shifting landscapes, embodying the constant state of flux that defines his nature. Here he bends reality to his will, creating illusions, paradoxes, and traps that ensnare even the most powerful beings. His demonic servants, from the cunning lords of change to the capricious horrors, act as extensions of his will, spreading his influence and ensuring that no corner of the warp remains untouched by his schemes. The effects of Tzeentch's presence are particularly profound in the minds of Psychers and those sensitive to the warp. These individuals, often driven by a desire to harness their abilities for the greater good, are among his favorite targets. Through whispers and visions, he offers them glimpses of forbidden power and hidden truths, drawing them deeper into his influence. Many fall victim to their own ambition, becoming corrupted or consumed by the very forces they sought to control. Even those who resist are not free from his touch, as the doubt and temptation he sows often linger, undermining their resolve. Tzeentch's influence is not limited to individuals and civilizations. It also shapes the very fabric of galactic warfare. His manipulation of fate ensures that battles rarely unfold as expected, with victories turning to defeats and defeats offering unexpected opportunities. Commanders who rely on meticulous planning find their strategies unraveling in the face of unforeseen developments, while those who embrace adaptability often find themselves inadvertently serving his goals. In this way, Tzeentch thrives on the chaos of war, ensuring that no side can claim true mastery over the battlefield. Perhaps the most insidious aspect of Tzeentch's influence is its subtlety. Unlike the more overt forces of chaos, his hand often goes unnoticed until it is too late. Leaders make decisions they believe are their own, unaware that they are following a path laid out by the great schemer. Scholars uncover truths that lead them to ruin, convinced they are on the brink of enlightenment. Even the most devout servants of order find themselves unwittingly furthering his designs, their actions manipulated to serve a greater purpose they cannot comprehend. Tzeentch's impact on the galaxy is not confined to destruction or chaos. He also represents the potential for growth and transformation, albeit in a way that serves his own ends. Under his influence, individuals and societies are pushed to their limits, forced to confront their flaws and redefine themselves. While this process often leads to ruin, it can also lead to moments of greatness, as those who survive his trials emerge stronger and more resilient. In this way, Tzeentch's presence is both a curse and a catalyst, driving the galaxy toward an uncertain and ever-changing future. Ultimately, Tzeentch's influence is a reminder of the fragility of order and the inevitability of change. In a universe defined by conflict and strife, his presence ensures that nothing remains static. He thrives on the ambitions, fears, and desires of sentient beings, using them to weave an endless web of schemes that shape the destiny of the galaxy. His power is not measured in the worlds he conquers or the armies he commands, but in the countless lives he touches, the decisions he shapes, and the chaos he creates. Through these acts, Tzeentch stands as a force of transformation, a reminder that in the grim darkness of the far future, nothing is certain, and everything is subject to his ever-shifting will. Tzeentch's uniqueness lies not merely in his power, but in the deeply intricate and multifaceted nature of his existence. Among the ruinous powers, he stands apart as a force defined by paradox, transformation, and the infinite possibilities of change. Every aspect of Tzeentch, his influence, his methods, his servants, reflects the core principle that nothing is fixed and that the potential for transformation exists in all things. One of the most distinctive aspects of Tzeentch is his unparalleled mastery over the warp's raw potential. While the other Chaos gods draw their power from singular, primal emotions such as rage or despair, Tzeentch thrives on complexity. His essence is fueled by ambition, curiosity, and the desire for growth, emotions that are inherently dynamic and multifaceted. This makes him a god of possibilities, capable of bending the very fabric of reality to suit his ever-changing designs. Where others seek to impose their will through force or corruption, Tzeentch reshapes the world subtly, weaving countless variables into a single, cohesive plan. Tzeentch's relationship with knowledge and deception further sets him apart. He is the patron of those who seek understanding, whether through science, magic, or philosophy. However, the knowledge he offers is rarely straightforward. It comes in riddles, half-truths, and illusions, designed to challenge and confound those who seek it. This duality of enlightenment and obfuscation makes him both a beacon and a trap for mortals and immortals alike. Those who follow his path often find themselves walking a razor's edge between revelation and madness, as the truths they uncover reveal not answers but further questions. Another defining trait of Tzeentch is his ability to manipulate fate. While all Chaos gods exert some level of influence over the material and immaterial realms, Tzeentch's power operates on a level of complexity that defies comprehension. He does not simply alter events. He rewrites the very pathways of possibility. His schemes often span centuries or millennia, involving countless individuals and seemingly unrelated occurrences. Yet, to Tzeentch, these are merely pieces of a grander puzzle, each move contributing to a larger design. His mastery of fate allows him to turn even his defeats into victories, ensuring that he is always one step ahead of his adversaries. In his domain within the warp, Tzeentch's nature is vividly reflected. His realm is a chaotic, ever-shifting landscape where nothing is as it seems. Rivers of molten gold flow into seas of liquid thought, while crystalline spires dissolve into storms of multicolored flame. This constant state of transformation mirrors his essence, making his realm both a place of boundless potential and a labyrinth of unending confusion. To enter this domain is to confront the very nature of change itself, where reality bends and twists under the weight of infinite possibilities. Tzeentch's servants are also emblematic of his uniqueness. Unlike the brutish demons of Khorne or the pestilent minions of Nurgle, Tzeentch's followers embody cunning, adaptability, and deceit. Lords of Change, his most powerful demonic emissaries, are master manipulators, capable of weaving intricate schemes that rival those of their master. Even his lesser demons, such as pink horrors, reflect his paradoxical nature. When destroyed, they split into smaller, more numerous blue horrors, each a fragment of the original's chaotic energy. This ability to adapt and multiply underscores Tzeentch's essence, the refusal to be constrained by any single form or outcome. On the mortal level, Tzeentch's influence is seen in those who seek knowledge and power at any cost. Scholars, sorcerers, and revolutionaries are drawn to him, often believing they can control the forces he represents. Yet, Tzeentch's gifts are never without strings. The boons he grants, whether magical prowess, forbidden knowledge, or glimpses of the future, inevitably lead to further dependence on his favor. In this way, he ensnares his followers in a cycle of ambition and despair, ensuring that they remain bound to his will. Tzeentch's adaptability is another key aspect of his strength. While other Chaos gods are defined by rigid domains, violence, decay, excess, Tzeentch thrives on change itself. This makes him uniquely suited to survive and thrive in any circumstance. Whether manipulating a galactic empire or the ambitions of a single individual, Tzeentch's nature allows him to adjust his methods and goals as needed. This fluidity is a hallmark of his power, making him an ever-present force in a universe defined by uncertainty and strife. The paradox of Tzeentch lies in his ability to represent both creation and destruction. He is a god of transformation, embodying the potential for growth and the inevitability of decline. This duality makes him both a force of inspiration and a harbinger of chaos. Under his influence, civilizations rise to unparalleled heights of achievement, only to crumble under the weight of their ambition. Similarly, individuals who seek his favor often achieve great power, but at the cost of their sanity, humanity, or lives. Finally, Tzeentch's true uniqueness lies in his inscrutability. His motives are never clear, even to his most devoted followers. While other Chaos gods pursue goals that are at least partially comprehensible, Tzeentch's plans are labyrinthine, layered with contingencies and contradictions. He is a god who thrives on uncertainty, ensuring that his true intentions remain hidden even as he shapes the course of history. To confront Tzeentch is to confront the unknowable, a force that cannot be defeated because it cannot be fully understood. In Tzeentch's existence, the universe sees the ultimate expression of change, a force that defies all attempts at control or comprehension. His uniqueness lies not in his strength, but in his complexity, a tapestry of paradoxes that reflects the boundless possibilities of existence itself. The web of Tzeentch's influence is populated by a myriad of unique and enigmatic individuals, both mortal and demonic, who serve as his tools, agents, or even unwitting pawns. These figures embody the intricacies of Tzeentch's schemes, their lives and actions illustrating the endless dance of manipulation, ambition, and transformation that defines his domain. Each character tied to Tzeentch reflects a different facet of his power, whether through their thirst for knowledge, their mastery of deception, or their role as living embodiments of change. Among the most iconic of Tzeentch's demonic servants are the Lords of Change, the greater demons who act as his emissaries in the warp and the material realm. These beings are avatars of cunning and manipulation, each one a vast repository of knowledge and magical power. They are not merely servants but reflections of Tzeentch's will, weaving their own intricate plots that often align, or appear to align, with their master's overarching schemes. Their physical forms are as mutable as their plans, with feathers, flames, and shifting patterns making them living manifestations of chaos. Lords of Change often manipulate mortals through visions, false promises, and illusions, ensuring that even their enemies unknowingly further Tzeentch's designs. Kairos Fateweaver stands as the most renowned of the Lords of Change. Known as the Oracle of Tzeentch, Kairos possesses unparalleled insight into the tapestry of fate. His two heads see different aspects of the future. One sees only what will come to pass, while the other perceives all possible outcomes. This duality makes Kairos a uniquely valuable tool for Tzeentch, though it also drives the demon to the brink of madness. Kairos serves as both a manipulator and a font of forbidden knowledge, his cryptic advice often steering others down paths of ruin or enlightenment, sometimes both. On the mortal side, the sorcerers who align themselves with Tzeentch are among his most devoted and dangerous followers. These individuals, drawn to his promise of power and enlightenment, often begin as seekers of forbidden knowledge or ambitious scholars. Over time, their pursuit of mastery over the warp leads them deeper into Tzeentch's grasp. Their lives become a paradoxical blend of power and dependency, as they wield devastating magical abilities while remaining bound to the god whose gifts they rely upon. Ahriman of the Thousand Suns is one of the most infamous mortals associated with Tzeentch. Once a scholar of unparalleled intellect and a master of psychic arts, Ahriman's pursuit of knowledge and his desperation to save his legion from their affliction ultimately led him to enact the rubric of Ahriman, a catastrophic spell that turned the majority of his brethren into mindless, soulless automata. Though Ahriman's ambition and brilliance are undeniable, his life is a cautionary tale of how Tzeentch manipulates even the most capable individuals into serving his ends. Ahriman remains an outcast and a seeker, driven by his insatiable hunger for answers and redemption, even as he unwittingly furthers Tzeentch's influence. Tzeentch's mortal servants are not limited to sorcerers and scholars. Throughout the galaxy, countless cults dedicate themselves to his worship, often under the guise of revolutionary movements or secret societies. These groups are fueled by ambition, seeking to overthrow existing orders or unlock hidden truths. Tzeentch rewards their devotion with glimpses of power and knowledge, but his gifts are never straightforward. Many cultists find themselves consumed by their own aspirations, their minds and bodies twisted into grotesque forms that reflect their inner desires and fears. Changecasters, a form of demon lesser than the Lords of Change, are also integral to Tzeentch's plans. These demons act as heralds and manipulators, spreading chaos through subtlety and guile. Unlike their more powerful counterparts, Changecasters often operate on a smaller scale, infiltrating mortal societies and sowing discord from within. They excel in exploiting personal ambitions, whispering suggestions that lead individuals down paths of self-destruction or rebellion. The blue scribes, a pair of demonic twins, offer another glimpse into the bizarre and paradoxical nature of Tzeentch's servants. These demons travel across the galaxy, tasked with collecting and cataloging every spell and incantation ever created. While their mission appears to serve Tzeentch's insatiable hunger for knowledge, it also ensures that such power remains forever out of mortal hands. The blue scribes embody Tzeentch's love of contradictions, as their actions simultaneously spread and hoard the arcane secrets they gather. Tzeentch's influence also extends to the aspirations of ordinary individuals, making his reach truly universal. From political leaders seeking to outmaneuver their rivals to inventors dreaming of groundbreaking discoveries, Tzeentch's touch can be found wherever ambition exists. His whispers promise solutions to impossible problems, paths to ultimate power, and the realization of long-held dreams. Yet these promises are always double-edged, leading their recipients into webs of betrayal, obsession, and ruin. The tapestry of Tzeentch's influence is woven with countless characters, each representing a different aspect of his power. Whether demonic emissaries or mortal pawns, these individuals are united by their connection to the god of change, their lives shaped by his endless schemes. Together, they illustrate the depth and complexity of Tzeentch's reach, showing how his influence permeates every corner of existence, ensuring that nothing remains untouched by his ever-shifting will. Through these figures, the true nature of Tzeentch is revealed, a god who thrives on the ambitions, contradictions, and transformations of all who fall under his gaze. The essence of Tzeentch lies in secrets and mysteries, a god whose very existence thrives on the unknown and unknowable. Every scheme, every action, and every aspect of his being is shrouded in layers of deception and enigma. To seek the truth about Tzeentch is to wander into an endless labyrinth, where each revelation raises more questions than it answers, and where understanding seems forever just out of reach. His nature as the god of change ensures that his mysteries are never static, forever shifting and evolving to confound even the most determined seekers. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding Tzeentch is his ultimate goal. While other chaos gods pursue relatively straightforward agendas, Khorne seeks endless slaughter, Nurgle revels in decay, and Slaanesh indulges in excess. Tzeentch's plans are impossibly convoluted. Every scheme appears to serve a larger design, yet the true purpose remains obscured. Some speculate that his ultimate goal is the complete transformation of existence, remaking the universe into a realm of endless flux. Others believe that Tzeentch desires to collapse the boundary between the warp and real space, merging the two into a single chaotic reality. Yet even these theories may be nothing more than distractions, carefully placed by Tzeentch himself to mislead and confuse. The methods by which Tzeentch weaves his schemes are equally enigmatic. Unlike his peers, who often act through direct force or overwhelming presence, Tzeentch operates through subtlety and indirection. His influence often takes the form of whispered thoughts, fleeting visions, or seemingly coincidental events. The smallest nudge, a misplaced word, a delayed message, a fleeting doubt can ripple outward to create massive consequences. Understanding the full extent of Tzeentch's involvement in any given event is nearly impossible, as his hand is often hidden until long after the damage has been done. One of Tzeentch's most profound secrets lies in the nature of his relationship with fate and free will. As the master of destiny, Tzeentch possesses unparalleled insight into the threads of possibility, yet his manipulation of these threads raises unsettling questions. Does Tzeentch truly control the future, or does he merely exploit the choices of others? Are those who serve him acting of their own volition, or are they unwitting pawns in a plan they can never comprehend? The line between predestination and free will becomes blurred under Tzeentch's influence, leaving even the most powerful individuals questioning the authenticity of their actions. The paradoxical nature of Tzeentch himself is another enduring mystery. He is a god of knowledge, yet his domain is one of lies and illusions. He offers enlightenment, but his truths are often twisted or incomplete. This duality is reflected in his demonic servants, such as the Lords of Change, who are both wise and deceitful, embodying the contradictions of their master. Even his gifts to mortals are shrouded in ambiguity. A boon granted by Tzeentch often carries unforeseen consequences, leaving the recipient better off or worse than before, but never in the way they anticipated. Tzeentch's realm within the warp is a place of endless secrets, a shifting, kaleidoscopic landscape that defies logic and comprehension. Those who venture into his domain find themselves surrounded by contradictions, doors that open into nowhere, staircases that ascend into the abyss, and libraries filled with books that rewrite themselves as they are read. At the heart of this chaos lies the Impossible Fortress, a structure that is both a physical manifestation of Tzeentch's power and a metaphor for his nature. Its corridors twist and change, its chambers contain answers to every question and yet none at all, and its treasures are as likely to enlighten as they are to destroy. Perhaps the most unsettling mystery of Tzeentch is the question of whether he can ever be truly defeated. His adaptability and foresight make him uniquely resilient, able to turn setbacks into opportunities and to use even his enemies' victories against them. Unlike other Chaos gods, whose strength waxes and wanes with the emotions that fuel them, Tzeentch's power is self-perpetuating. Every attempt to unravel his schemes, every act of defiance, and every effort to resist change only feeds his domain, ensuring that his influence remains eternal. Another closely guarded secret is the true nature of the knowledge Tzeentch offers. Many of those who seek his favor do so in the belief that he holds the answers to the universe's greatest mysteries. Yet those who receive his gifts often find that the truths they uncover are incomplete, misleading, or so incomprehensible that they drive the seeker to madness. It is said that Tzeentch knows the answers to every question ever asked, yet he reveals only what serves his inscrutable purposes. Whether he withholds the full truth out of malice, amusement, or some higher design is a question that has no answer, at least none that mortals can understand. Tzeentch's relationship with the other Chaos gods is also fraught with secrets and uncertainty. While the ruinous powers often oppose one another, Tzeentch's schemes frequently involve alliances of convenience, betrayals, and manipulations. To what extent his relationships with Khorne, Nurgle, and Slaanesh are genuine or merely another layer of deception is unclear. Even among his peers, Tzeentch remains an enigma, his motives hidden, and his true loyalties known only to himself. Finally, Tzeentch's ultimate mystery may be the nature of his existence. As a being of pure warp energy, Tzeentch is both a reflection of mortal ambition and a force in his own right. This raises the question of whether he shapes the thoughts and desires of sentient beings or whether they, in turn, shape him. The answer may lie somewhere in between, a paradox befitting a god of contradiction and change. In this ambiguity, Tzeentch's true power is revealed, a being whose essence is rooted in the infinite possibilities of the unknown, ensuring that his secrets will remain forever beyond reach. In the vast, ever-changing tapestry of the galaxy, Tzeentch stands as a force of endless transformation and boundless mystery. His influence is woven into the very fabric of existence, manifesting wherever ambition rises, plans are forged, and secrets are sought. Unlike the brutish violence of his peers or the overt decay of their domains, Tzeentch's power is subtle, intricate, and insidious. He does not conquer through raw strength, but through the manipulation of destiny itself, ensuring that his schemes echo across eternity. The story of Tzeentch is not one of clear victories or defeats. His plans are so vast and multifaceted that even his failures often serve a greater purpose, sowing the seeds for future machinations. For every victory his enemies claim, 1,000 unseen threads are pulled tighter, binding them to his will. His greatest triumphs are rarely celebrated. They pass unnoticed, their significance revealed only in the rippling consequences that unfold over centuries. Tzeentch's role in the galaxy is paradoxical, embodying both hope and despair. To some, he's a beacon of possibility, offering the potential for growth, change, and enlightenment. To others, he is a harbinger of ruin, a force that shatters stability and plunges worlds into chaos. In truth, he is both and neither, a reflection of the contradictions inherent in the universe itself. Through his influence, the galaxy is constantly reshaped, its destinies rewritten in ways that defy understanding. Despite his omnipresent reach, Tzeentch remains an enigma. His motives, his ultimate goals, and even his very nature are subjects of endless speculation. For those who seek to comprehend him, the journey is as perilous as it is futile. To delve into Tzeentch's mysteries is to risk losing oneself in a labyrinth of shifting truths and illusions, where every answer reveals new questions and every step leads further into the unknown. Yet for all his power, Tzeentch is not invincible. His reliance on manipulation and deception makes him vulnerable to unpredictability and chaos, the very forces he embodies. Even his most intricate plans can be undone by the actions of those who refuse to play by his rules. In a universe defined by war and strife, where survival often depends on brute strength or unyielding faith, Tzeentch's subtleties can sometimes falter against the unrelenting will of his enemies. In the end, Tzeentch's legacy is one of eternal change. His schemes may never reach fruition, and his ultimate purpose may remain forever obscured, but his influence ensures that the galaxy will never remain static. Through him, the endless cycle of ambition, transformation, and conflict continues, shaping the destiny of all who dwell within it. He is not merely a god of the warp, but a fundamental force of the universe, a reminder that nothing is permanent and that the only certainty is change. As the galaxy spirals deeper into chaos, Tzeentch's presence looms ever larger, his schemes unfolding in ways both subtle and grand. Whether as a manipulator, a corrupter, or a bringer of enlightenment, his hand is in everything, ensuring that the story of the far future will always be a story of transformation. In his labyrinthine mind, the infinite possibilities of the universe converge, and in his ever-shifting form, the promise and the peril of change finds its ultimate expression. For in the grim darkness of the far future, where hope and despair intertwine, Tzeentch endures as the architect of fate and the eternal master of the unknown.